a little bit of painting today while we talk about how I started and how I'm continuing my art practice without all the overwhelm that I that I just really seem to love having. And I've talked about this in some shorts before. Sorry, I'm just pulling up the chat real quick. And I've talked about this before. My goodness. Hold on one second. I don't know why this is so hard. Okay. Um, I've talked about this in shorts before, but um what we're gonna do today is I really want to make some gift boxes. And so I think I want to do some watercolor, like maybe some I'm feeling stripes for the box for this first one, and then but I want to make a few. And I have this palette with just leftover paint in it, and I thought it might be just kind of nice to just use it up. It's a mixture of this Daniel Smith essential set. It's currently on sale, so I'm actually gonna link the sale price below because it's a little expensive. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, just make some stripes and just use up some of this paint, kind of willy nilly. But yeah, so starting with, gosh, I was overwhelmed. I'm a grown up, like I'm a full grown up, grown ass adult here, and um, for whatever reason, I just really didn't want to feel bad at art. I didn't want to have to yeah, I didn't want to be bad at it. I didn't want to, I don't know, just feel a type of way about it, I think. And that really got in my way for like a really long time. And then one day I kind of got sick of myself, honestly. I just kind of got sick of feeling that way. And I just wanted to try. And what I found, especially when it came to drawing and painting, especially when there's so much advice out in the world, what I found to be the most helpful for me was to actually lean into my own learning style, was to lean into how I like to take in information. And I'm one of those people that I really like jumping to the middle, like taking any kind of class or course or, you know, doing like the usual step by step stuff. I just don't really, I don't learn that way. I tend to feel very, I like to know where we're going. And so like the first introductory part of any kind of class or any kind of learning, I always just feel I always just feel so bored. And I really just can't stand it. So if I jump ahead and I see where we're going, like I see what I want to learn, I have an application for it, and that feels so much more accessible to me than just a paint by numbers learning style. And I felt that way in school too. You know, I just didn't like learning in that way. I want to know. I want to get my hands in the dirt. And that's how that information sinks in for me, is actually having like an idea. And so I quit judging myself for thinking that I had to do specific studies or I had to do, certain types of drawing exercises. I just plunged in and I just quit like thinking about whether or not I was doing it right, because it didn't matter. It's not about right or wrong. It's about what's going to help me do the thing. And what's going to help me do the thing is just letting myself learn as I like to, as I need to. And it was huge. It was honestly really huge. And that was the only way I really could see past that overwhelm. It was the only way that I could see past the intimidation of wanting to start and try art. And I'm so glad that I did it that way, that I just kind of let my mind do its thing. So I think if I hadn't done that, I may not have ever started. And that would have been really sad. It would have been very sad. And I get very in my own head in terms of critique. I can criticize myself like nobody's business. Isn't this beautiful? This Daniel Smith it is honestly really pretty. I can't wait. I really want to make some nice gift boxes for just for some gifts. I actually made my friend, or not made, sorry. I actually found some seashells. My friend really likes to make little crafts and things with them, and so I kind of want to make a cute little box to put them in, and I want to make some yeah, just some cute little boxes, and I just want to see how that goes. But playing around, very underrated. Very underrated. But yeah, I don't know. And I think thinking about it as all just play is pretty fun. Because when I'm playing, it all just kind of falls away. It all just kind of falls away. But I was so intimidated to start. I was so intimidated. And I think just the more that I play and get my hands in it, none of that really matters anymore. I also think going to the library has been really awesome because there are all these different art techniques and different all different styles and things that I wouldn't have thought of, you know. And it's been really cool to experiment and play with different ideas. Um, Especially with actually with all of it. I was gonna say especially with drawing, but all of it has just been really fun to play with, really fun to experiment with. I don't know, does anybody else feel overwhelmed sometimes by just like the practice of play or the practice of like just starting an art practice and continuing? I can't believe like how hard that was for me for so long. And unnecessarily so, you know? Self-expression, it's all good, you know? Hi, how are you? Welcome. Are you painting too? Are you hanging out? Awesome. Awesome. But yeah, I was just thinking about art and I was talking about how intimidated I had been to um, start with any kind of art. Let's see, you hit 200. So awesome. Is that it was that a goal for you? I'm mostly here for fun. I'm not. I haven't really done all that with the metrics. Um, but yeah, also I was thinking about how kind of loaded um, the whole idea of just the whole idea of being in a comfort zone or like getting out of your comfort zone, that always felt kind of loaded, and and like it felt like it had to be a big thing. So instead of thinking about comfort zone, I'm just thinking about trying new things and not really thinking about comfort zone or like whether or not it makes me feel a type of way. I'm just trying something new, and I'm just not worried about the outcome. Boy, I think we're using up this palette. This is awesome. I just had these paints left over, just hanging around, and then we can make that gift box. But I think really the secret to starting and staying consistent with something is just not taking it so seriously, and just Just letting things happen and letting it take its time, you know? Like, sometimes I get so, like, um, hung up on, like, how much time something was going to take to learn or to do. And it's just completely unnecessary. So I'm just going to clear up these gaps here. Let's just use up this. I think for the next one I want to do, I might do wet on wet or I might do diagonal stripes. I haven't quite decided yet. I just want to get this bottom edge done. And this is just Canson because I'm going to be, like I said, I'm making I'm experimenting, playing around with making gift boxes. So it's just kind of like it's just a template. And then I'll, once this is dry, I'll probably do it on tomorrow's live. And then I'll make some, draw out the template, cut it out, and then we'll make a box, some gift boxes. I'm pretty excited about trying that out actually, because I've seen some pretty cool different styles of boxes, and I think it'd be pretty cool. And this is so we pretty much just about tapped this out. We'll probably just see if we can use a little bit more of it. But that's what I wanted because I had all these paints in here and I knew they were pretty. I just couldn't remember what they looked like. So doing something kind of just easy and chaotic seemed like the best way to do it. So I think this I'm actually pretty excited for. This is the Undersea Green by Daniel Smith. And I'm pretty curious to play around with that because I just got it. So we'll see about that. Actually, yeah, I am going to do this one. I kind of want to do this one wet on wet. So I think we'll, I think I'm just going to take this sponge. But I also used this paper because I needed something, bigger. And all my watercolor paper is too small to make the size box I wanted. So I'm going to use Canson instead, but I kind of like it. Okay, let's just try that. It's not too wet. Let's see. It's kind of glossy. I really like these I actually like these sponges for that purpose because I feel like I have a little more control than I do with like a broad brush. I'm not sure if that's just me though. Okay. Should I just do it right out of palette? I just want to see how it looks. God, that's so pretty. Yeah. I think we'll just put that here. I just kind of want to make just kind of whatever, really. Oh yeah, so I've been getting like some really interesting books in the library, and if you've watched any of my shorts, you've probably seen them around. And it just really helps me get out of my own head because I can see all these different possibilities, and I think seeing different potentials when looking at other types of art, it just really helps me not feel so intimidated because there are all sorts of things that you can do, and it's all just exploring, really. And if I can just play around and explore, then it's not really a big deal. Actually, there's a little bit left in here. Let's try that. This is a great way to use up paints, just random paints and palettes. Just crafting and playing around. I will say my head's just kind of all over the place lately. I can't quite seem to follow one train of thought. We are feeling a little chaotic today, as usual. I think this is actually think this one's Payne's Gray, which is surprisingly blue to me. All right, and then we've got kind of feeling some burnt umber a little bit. Put that in between the spaces. Pretty. This paper's starting to dry out a little bit. This is new Gamboge. The other thing about overwhelm and just feeling kind of, oh, that is pretty. This quadrichrome, how do you say it? Quadrichrome rose. That is just gorgeous, isn't it? Man. Pretty. I'm not sure how, because I'm painting with this like because this is Canson, like it's kind of a mess in terms of like drying and knowing when it's going to dry, you know. But if I pick up some of this quinacridra, okay, whatever. It's the Q rose that mixed with the shadow violet. Ooh, that is pretty. On that. Yeah, that's really pretty. I think the other thing about one of the things that did keep me from starting art too was feeling foolish. I don't know if that's relatable to anybody, but it was just this feeling of like, I don't know, just comparison and like what other people might think about it. That always just kind of creeped me out. I just didn't want to deal with that. But there's also something to be said for just like literally just not caring what other people think. You know, literally not giving them a say. But it's hard, isn't it? It's really hard sometimes. I wish that wasn't the case, but I guess we're just people out here. Just people out in these streets. I don't know. Which one is this one? I think this is phthalo blue, which is really pretty. And when I actually when I filled up this palette, the phthalo blue is really runny, and it just like getting everywhere. I was just covered in it. It was annoying because it's expensive, right? But it was also just really frustrating that it ended up just everywhere. Yeah. Let's go put this here. So I'm trying to decide. I think I might do because I know the way that the box is going to be. It's going to be 3-inch box. So a lot of on the border, except for like the side flaps, it's all going to be basically scraps that I can use for other stuff. So I'm not really too concerned about the edges. I'm just mostly filling in probably this area. But I'll decide because the flaps are either going to be down here or they're going to be up here. So, so I'll just decide once it's all done which way I want to do it, which is part of why I didn't draw the template, because I was going to do that, get the template down. But if I'd already had all that like planned out, then the power of choice would have been taken away from me. And I decided to do it this way just to see how this will all turn out. I will say though, I understand the appeal of the Daniel Smith paints. I was using, and I still do actually, use these Van Gogh, this travel palette here. And that's the one that I started with. Oh, I just spilled my water everywhere. Oh no, no, no. Okay. So nobody panic. Let me just make sure my laptop is okay. Oh no. Oh no. We have descended into absolute chaos, you guys. Absolute chaos. Okay. Let me go. Let me get a towel. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get a towel. This is why watercolor is such a mess, you guys. It is such a mess. God damn it. There's water all over my floor. Well, okay. What else has this ruined? I'm not entirely sure yet. Well, I guess first off, we're just gonna, let's just take this towel and then let's just run off some of this water, and see what happens to the painting. I mean, at least we're just doing something abstract, right? Well, that was fun. Okay, I think I got it mostly cleaned up here. All right. And now there's a hair in it. Oh my god. There's some water like, oh. But my laptop's okay, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. All right. Let's see here. What was I even doing? I guess we can just keep going. I don't know where my paintbrush went. There it is. Oh yeah, so I was saying this I was using this Van Gogh, and it's a proper mess because I used it a whole bunch, but I really liked it. I still like it, but to start though is what I'm saying. I'm sorry, that water really rattled me. Almost losing my laptop really rattled my cage. It's not the art supplies, it's the ones you'll use. Like, that really is true. And I feel like getting wrapped up and caught in like what people recommended for supplies, like that was another thing that really like it just overwhelmed me a lot, because I didn't want to like buy the wrong thing, or I didn't want to do the wrong thing, and it was just like, come on, man, don't be so silly. Don't be so silly. Just start with something, see what you like, see what you don't like, and then just go from there. Like, it's fine, you know? And I think I buy into, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but sometimes I feel like I buy into the whole, like, we see the titles of videos that are just like, this is the best, or don't do this instead. And it just And I understand why they're doing it, but that is just, it feels like pretty rotted behavior, honestly. Because because if you're already feeling kind of overwhelmed, you're having a hard time starting, and then there's all of these like there are all these people that are out there just making it helping it get into your head even more. I mean, I think that's what bothers me about it. I don't know. I feel like there's a kinder way to get people to start art than intimidating them. I don't know. This whole part is just it's still pretty saturated. Actually, I might just put this down. And I also think I kind of want to see if we just use a spray bottle on it. Because it's already like super wet now. I just kind of want to see how these blend together. Just out of curiosity. And then, ooh, maybe we'll just take this, huh? I just want to see if that, I'm going that way. So I might go over this again. And see how that turns out. Not entirely sure. I think I'm gonna hang it up on this one. This is, I think we're gonna hang it up on that one and start fresh with something else because I like the way that this first one we did. It's drying up pretty well now, and I think it's dry enough to put it in between like some books. But I'm really feeling the stripes. I'm feeling the stripes for the gift boxes, so I think I might just continue with that and see. So why don't we mix up some of these real quick. Oh, I need to get more water. Actually no, I don't. And so I definitely want to use, I really like this undersea green, man, that is beautiful. The other thing too about the granulations is it's kind of cool to see them come out on their own. Okay. Sorry, I keep thinking that can you guys see me okay? Like, I feel like the internet might be down. This happened the other day. We've just been having so many storms, and it's just been like wrecking. It's been wrecking the internet connection out here because I live kind of in the sticks, and it's been a bit of a problem. So If anybody could let me know what's the deal, that would be awesome. Because it's really kind of messing up here. And then I think, ooh, yeah, this is that. I'm just dipping right out of the thing. This is Shadow Violet from Daniel Smith. I got this one at the art store, and I don't know what it is, but it's like this really like beautiful gray purple, and the way out it is just so cool. So this is Undersea Green, and this is Shadow Violet. So pretty. It's really, really cool. And this one is some leftover. This is a mix of Shadow Violet and Payne's Gray. I do remember that. The other ones I do not remember. I do remember that one. I do remember that one. There's just something fun about just getting your hands in things. I think that was one thing that I really, really have kind of missed. But because before because like I said, I was so intimidated to start drawing and painting. And but I'm just kind of a creative person. Like I like to do things like, for example, I don't know if I have any here, but I used to make pottery back in the day. And I've done like a lot of baking. I've done a lot of things that involve my hands. And it's more like I think it's more like a 3D thing, you know, like more like something that you can manipulate directly with your hands as opposed to like always using a tool to do it. And I think part of it might have actually just been that it felt weird to not directly touch it with my hands, or like manipulate it or work with it in that way, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I had a friend, she was a photographer, and we were talking about, this was years ago, and we were talking about just creativity in general, and how I really liked photography. I thought it was awesome. I just didn't really play around with it as much as I had wanted to. But she said that she said, well, some people are just more 3D, and she's like, that's just kind of like where you are. You tend to need things that are just more working with your hands directly, like sculpting. And I used to bake pastries, and a lot of that is just like shaping it, and well, you know, as you get ready to, if you ever watch Bake Off, you've probably seen during pastry week how they get things ready. I'm just gonna drag this across here. But yeah, I was really like kind of craving that. But once I got used to or started playing around more with with paintbrushes and pens and all that stuff, it just got a little bit easier. It started to feel more like it scratched that itch, you know. I don't know if what I'm saying at all is making any sense at all here, but this one's looking pretty wild, isn't it? Because this is the one before. Although this one's almost all the way dry, so we'll see how this one dries up. But Daniel Smith is kind of far out that way, man. I feel like coming from like other like student paints, this feels I feel like there's a little bit more of a learning curve with, especially when it comes to the granulation and the way that the color spreads out on the page. Damn, that is wild. Watercolor feels a lot like mildly controlled chaos. It's like, it's kind of crazy. I think I'm gonna move the paints over to my left side because I'm left-handed. I keep reaching across, and if I haven't dipped my sleeve in it yet, I'm probably about to. So let's just do that. Oops. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I'm feeling this. This Payne's gray, man. It just feels so blue. This one's actually by Winsor & Newton. I just picked up a tube of this. Just to try and just see. Oh, let me just check this real quick. I think we're still good. Yeah, I think we're still good. But I think every once in a while I do still get that feeling of intimidation, that feeling of, you know, just or like looking at like comparison or, and I think the best thing I can do for it is just to not look. It's just to, there have been like a few people who I really liked, but they just made me feel kind of like feel a type of way, you know? And so or like, you know, people online. So I just kind of took a break and taking a break from them for right now. I can always follow them again, or I can always, you know, people are still going to be there, you know? And I'm just going to do this a little bit. I'm so scared of that water cup now. I'm so scared of it. I don't want to knock it over again. Yeah, you know, people will, they'll be there. They'll be there when I feel up for it, you know. Oops, I let that sit too long. I think play is like, it's the ultimate. Life's too short, man. Life is just too short. And I can't just like, I don't know. I can't let all that stuff get in my head because otherwise I'm not going to have any fun. But I think that's the reason why, I don't know if you guys saw, I started doing, and I'm going to keep doing it, but I've been taking D&D dice and like rolling to see like what to do next for art projects. And I want to keep going with that because it's actually really fun mental exercise too, of just thinking of something on this spot that fits within the role, and it's pretty fun. I like that a lot. So I think we'll probably keep going with that. This one ended up being way vibrant compared to that first one. kind of fun difference. We need some fresh water soon. Burnt. Is this burnt umber or burnt sienna? I forgot now. Can't remember. That looks pretty good. So I think overall we got, this is how this one is so saturated because we spilled water. Because I spilled like a whole thing of water on it. That one's kind of fun. We'll see how that shapes up. And I think we'll make some boxes tomorrow. I think that'll be and I also want to grab some like salt too. I think that will be pretty good. So I think we'll do that for sure. Because I do want to try salting them. Anyway, I guess I say all that to say I started and continued by just not worrying about it. Easier said than done, 100%. 100%. And I think part of why I've started this channel is just to be another person out there that's like, hey, sometimes you just gotta play and just not worry about it, even though like it can be so easy for that to happen. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up and go do some other things. But the next time we meet, we'll be putting these boxes together and then we'll see how that goes. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care, and I'll see you next time.